Greetings, everyone, and thank you for tuning in for this Media One Sports television coverage of high school sports across Western Massachusetts. Today in service for the East Longmeadow cable access stations, where we've got the East Longmeadow Spartans, the Lady Spartans, on the road to take on the Lady Panthers of Cathedral High School from Lusitano Stadium in Ludlow, Massachusetts. I'm Scott Harris. And as we follow this game today, the story is really with the East Longmeadow Lady Spartans, the runners-up for the state championship, Division I, for the 2011 soccer season. So we are expecting many big things from this team as another season goes around. And as we get familiar with some of the players here, we'll be following them through and through with the play-by-play until the final whistle at the end of the 90-minute set. First game of the season for both of these teams, so I think that for a little while we're just kind of watching these girls, just kind of getting a feeling for things. However, taking a look at the East Longmeadow Lady Spartans, they have 6, 7, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From my roster, there are 6 seniors and a whole bunch of juniors that make up this squad. So very, very deep in experience here. As I take a look on the stat sheet for the Cathedral Girls varsity soccer team, I see just 2 seniors thus far on the list. Nope, 3. One more further down the line, including a midfielder, and the goalie is a senior. So 4 of their members. They list 15 girls on their roster for this home game. The history of the Cathedral Panthers, I think all of us no stranger to, as far as to the tragedy of the tornado that came through in the summer of 2011, left their high school devastated. They since have transferred out into a middle school location. And, things are kind of tough right now for Cathedral. Definitely are rebuilding across all of their sports, in part because the facility that they are in is smaller, thus their enrollment is smaller. So to have to play on a Division I level, when you in fact have a school that's population is maybe 1/3 that the size of other Division I schools, it'll be interesting to see the effort that is turned in by the Cathedral Lady Panthers here this afternoon from Lusitano Stadium. So we've already seen a corner kick unlucky for the East Longmeadow Lady Spartans, but the time of possession in this game so far has definitely favored East Longmeadow. A little bit of a push now by Cathedral, stopped, and continuing on. Turn on and spin in by the ball. Although when you take a look at the comparisons here between the red shirts and the white shirts, there's a lot of East Longmeadow players down here getting involved in the game. A throw-in now for Cathedral. And a turnover to the Spartans. Just want to let you know that there are archives of all of the Media One Sports television broadcasts. You can find them on YouTube. So consider that in the event that you want to be able to share these with your friends. You can take the link and drop it onto your Facebook page or send it to them in an email or just tell them the name of a future file and where to find it. The glory of the internet, huh? Very smart how East Longmeadow plays the line. I mean, it's definitely one of those things that you should know, but a lot of kids don't practice it. You know, they stay totally on the field and try to play everything back in if it gets close. A couple of situations here, you'll notice the East Longmeadow player will actually be outside of the sideline, and then as the ball approaches, they step up and play it on the line. Annie Rodriguez, the netminder, the senior for Cathedral. Nice boot. Running it down on the wing. Clearing it out of bounds. Danielle White in the vicinity of that play. From our broadcast position, players' numbers a little easier to determine from their backs. But as we get through this broadcast, which I anticipate could be as much as 90-plus minutes, we will get more familiar with players as we go through the game. Again, down the left wing, centers it, one touch. And a good grab there by the netminder, who in fact is Annie Rodriguez. I spoke about the netminder earlier going in the other direction, and that would in fact be Annie Stack. Bit of a windy first day for the opening here. Doesn't seem to be affecting things on the field. However, there are definitely times where I think, just like with most sports, football, baseball, any time where the object that you're playing with gets some airtime, yes, wind can be a factor. But the breeze that you may hear throughout the broadcast here is not affecting thus far the play that we see on the field. It was a 4 o'clock kickoff for this game on this day. Possibility that as the broadcast goes on, the winds could increase, may decrease. Nice turn. But again, East Longmeadow, when you look at the numbers, there always seem to be more red jerseys. As this game goes on, I'll be watching the formation. Ooh, nice kick and goal. Count that. It is good. Number 8 for the Lady Spartans, that is Victoria Dutiel. And that goal in about the 7th minute of the game. Again, just looking at the screen, so many red shirts all the time. Refs letting them play a little bit. I have always been one, and as I'm about ready to say, who have said kind of tongue-in-cheek that soccer is in fact a contact sport, as you watch one of the Lady Spartans go down on the turf. Again, outside the left foot, crossing, unlucky on the center, but she got it in the box. Opportunity missed, but East Longmeadow still controls the ball. Jukes the player, re-centers again in front of the box, and unlucky on the touch across to the other side. Another strike on goal, and a great save for Cathedral High School's Annie Rodriguez. A lot of activity, keeping the Lady Panthers netminder on her toes, and now we see some action going the other way. But again, noting 3 Spartans in your screen to 1 aggressor, 1 forward for the Panthers. East Longmeadow on that last drive just showed amazing attack across the center. Here's the 1 touch coming down the wing again. We've seen this before, and she winds up, touches with the right foot. Oh, and the deflection, no, the referee calls the ball down. But she took a shot. Really defended that off. First game of the season, junior netminder for Cathedral, and already in the 9th minute, she's in a, I think she knows she's got her work cut out for her here this afternoon with the Lady Spartans. Defender falls, We do have defensive numbers for Cathedral in this particular situation, and the pass across the box a little wide, but smartly, Spartans just passing it out so that the incoming midfielder can just take a strike on it. Brooke Breton, Lady Spartans there, striking it out of bounds. But I definitely like the way she was set up. Amazing how unselfishly East Longmeadow sets up the play. Because, you know, the importance is scoring. It really isn't a matter of whether I get the assist or whether I get the goal. It's amazing how soccer is a game where everyone has to be involved all the time to work toward that end goal. No pun intended. Well, no pun intended, but you see my point. The mission to score. 5 against 2, the numbers for East Longmeadow. 5 against 3 on the screen. I don't know if it's the formation the Panthers are using or just the fact that East Longmeadow hustles, and again another attack. Ooh, the fake and the clear across midfield, and we're going the other way. Breton will throw it in. Breton, a junior for the Lady Spartans. Here we go. Centers. That's off the side of the goal. You know, could have gone either way with that, and considering that she has hit that goal before, I can definitely see why she would attack with the same shot, depending on how the goalie attacks. But you almost wonder if she might have wanted to center that one off, because, again, East Longmeadow always has the numbers. If you include the goaltender for Cathedral on that defensive stop, or as the ball was kicked out of bounds, the numbers were still in favor, 4-2 on the field plus the netminder. Media One Sports Television, our coverage of Western Mass High School athletics. We have been servicing the local cable access networks across Western Massachusetts for the last 4 years now. And I'd like to think we'll be doing it for many, many more. Expanding our programming, internship opportunities so that we actually have people out in the field covering these as well, just so that we can give these kids an opportunity to be seen in their hometowns. And because we do feed the social media networks, they can also be seen out of town because of our broadcasts. We upload them to YouTube. So again, just a reminder, Media One Television, find us on Facebook. And then from there, you'll be able to find all of the links to the games that we cover for the YouTube broadcasts. 1-0 so far in this game, 13 minutes and 20 seconds in. Not a lot of stop time in these games. As the clock runs, we get to the half, it's an even stop, and then as we get into the second half, unless there's some extreme circumstances, typically these games end as the clock runs out. They do not, at this point in the season, allow a stoppage time after the clock expires in this game. 1-0 in the contest. Vicky Dutille scoring the first goal at 6 minutes and 55 seconds. You see the coach on the sidelines trying to help her girls understand where they need to be on the throw-in. A mild sign of their inexperience. I see a lot of sophomores and a lot of freshmen. And, you know, when you look at the way the enrollment works at Cathedral High School, because it is a private school, the students come from a little bit of everywhere. So unlike what you see here with the East Longmeadow girls, I have no doubt that all of these young ladies have played together. There's some overlap from the youth feeder system in the town of East Longmeadow. So, you know, there's just a history with these girls that brings a chemistry that if them going all the way to the state finals last year is an indicator, they're unstoppable. And the shot off the right foot, unlucky, wide of the post. Lusitano Stadium. Some folks, I've heard them call it the holy grail of soccer. The town of Ludlow, in fact, on a whole, the holy grail of soccer for Western Massachusetts, maybe even all of New England. Yeah, you know, that is probably more appropriate to look at the 6 states and realize that there is a very rich soccer history that comes out of Ludlow, Massachusetts. Interesting with everyone going to field turf. It's nice to see natural grass here. East Longmeadow has gone to field turf. You'll see that in future broadcasts here. East Longmeadow Cable Access Television. Again, want to thank them for picking up the feed from Media One Sports Television. East Longmeadow plays a lot of one-touch, two-touch soccer. You know, you won't see them trying to juggle through traffic a lot. And the players really have a great anticipation, understanding that at any moment they could be part of the play, so they stay around just in the event that that deflection comes into their front yard. I guess we would call it a court sense in basketball, so in soccer we call it a soccer sense. Yeah, you thought I was going to say a field sense, didn't you? No. Again, when you talk about that anticipation, that hunger right there on the throw-in from the sideline, and the East Longmeadow player comes right up in to converge on the ball. And the Panthers player, offensively, not even concerned or being warned by her teammates that there's an attacker coming on the ball. You know, we haven't even talked about communication yet. We've talked about chemistry, but communication is so big. Help your player have eyes where they don't. Holler at them. Again, one-touch ball back and forth for East Longmeadow. The East Longmeadow girls soccer team is coached by Jenny Maurer and Andrew Serafino. Little back kick. Taken away. And a good tackle, but it will stay Panthers ball. Number 12 and number 13 just off your screen, respectively, Danielle White and Mary Edwards for the Lady Spartans. Approaching the 20th minute in the first half. 1-0 East Longmeadow. Nice center into traffic and cleared away. Great stop at midfield to force it back into the fray. Little contact and a turnaround. Michaela Highland, number 10 for the Spartans. Fall in Massachusetts, everybody. It is a special time of year. Yes, it brings that chill in the air, but it also brings us soccer and football. Also, indoors, I think high school boys volleyball. We'll be taking a look at some of that in the weeks to come with Media One Television. Look at that. Look at that. Incredible. Let's take a look here and see number 4, the assist, number 12, the goal. Danielle White from Ashley, Horrigan in the 21st minute. Two 2-0 East Longmeadow, and now the pressure is on. For the Cathedral Panthers, at this point, they have to realize that for as quick as East Longmeadow, for as hard as they're attacking, they've got 2 goals. We're 1/4 of the way through the game. A reality check for the Lady Panthers. That you may find yourself at the mercy of a 2011 state finalist team. Ball girls out here keeping busy, keeping the game going. That's actually good exercise. I should consider that. Volunteering and being a ball man for a soccer game. Substitutions on the field for both teams. And into play. First time in a while we've seen action down defensively here for East Longmeadow. I myself being neutral as I watch this game go down, but honestly I would like to see a little bit about how East Longmeadow works defensively. So far, 23 minutes into this game, I don't have a clue. Cathedral hasn't tested them. But we get a look now, and again, look at all the red shirts. So I guess I do know how East Longmeadow works defensively. It's a mob mentality. Everybody gets in on it, and that's the way it should be. A touch back to the goalie, 1 touch out to the wing, into the gap, 1 touch, inside, outside. Look at another attack forming for the Spartans. Oh, through the seam. Oh my goodness. Oh, unlucky off the post, and the deflection. Header, no call, and that's fine. Let them play. Let them play. Another opportunity. She turns and winds. Touch to the outside, recovered by the goaltender. But I sure think that qualifies as a shot on goal off the post for East Longmeadow. A chance to pretty much, do I dare almost want to say by the looks of things, they could have sealed this game early with their 3rd goal in what would have been the 23rd minute on that attack. As the formation comes together with East Longmeadow, I'm no meteorologist, but it's almost like you can see it. It's like a storm cell. Batten down the hatches, close your windows and doors, bring the pets in the house. Spartans are coming. A Cathedral Panther timeout. Hey, a good chance for me to remind you, big home game for East Longmeadow on the 17th of September as they host Minnechaug. I understand that game a rematch of the 2011 Western Mass Final. It's going to be a big one. 7 o'clock, first kick. We'll have it here on East Longmeadow Cable Access Television. And in fact, we will bring out all the guns covering this one. 3-camera shoot. We'll have the announcers in the booth. It's going to be a good one. So make your plans to come on out and support the girls. September 17th at East Longmeadow as they host the Minnetonka Lady Falcons, 7 o'clock p.m. Get another drive here. A defensive turnaround, just pretty much coming up behind the Cathedral player and just kicking it out. Nice interception there on the 50-50 ball. You know, it's like winning in the air, but a very nice control touch by East Longmeadow as the ball came down on the turf to take it right from the front of the Cathedral player and then start aggressing back into the Cathedral Panther zone. 4-on-2, Cathedral. Five on 5, so even numbers. East Longmeadow very, very quick to take advantage of opportunities. If there's a mismatch on the numbers, East Longmeadow doesn't let it stay that way for long. Deja vu. Ooh, she's got wheels in the shot. Oh, again, unlucky off the post, and the follow-up is good. Score it. Goal! East Longmeadow. Looked like the shot by Dutiel off the post, but it would be number 6 coming on hard, Juliana Templeman, the freshman, to score the goal. And that would happen in the 26th minute of the first half. (3-0) East Longmeadow. It would be 1-0 off the Vicky Dutiel goal in the 6th minute. Danielle White would score the second goal in the 21st minute. And now the Templeman goal makes it 3-0. And we are 28 minutes now, just crossing the 28-minute mark in the first half. Keep in mind there was one post shot that came back onto the field, and Cathedral was able to clear it out. And then 2 other shots by East Longmeadow, just short of the goal or just crossing off and going out of bounds on the other side. Again, you can't count the goals that were missed, but you can realize that the potential is there because of the attacking frenzy of the Spartans. They can really run it up on you if you let them. No, you know, I shouldn't even say let them if you can't stop them. There's a difference between letting it happen and just not being able to do anything about it. Just amazing how East Longmeadow is able to pick through the seams. Another shot on goal, nicely deflected away by Rodriguez. This angle right here, as we set up for the East Longmeadow goal kick, it shows us a lot, but it doesn't show us everything. Somehow, down there on the field, I'm amazed at what looks like congestion, but somehow the Lady Spartans can thread the needle to get the pass where it has to go. Out of the corner. Sent in again. I believe there was a handball. No, looks like we're setting up for another corner. That one a little better shot, but no one there to reel it in and send it on goal. Cathedral clears it out. But again, 3 against 1 offensively, 4 against 1 now. This is what I talk about, the numbers, the swarm. Just incredible. You know, conditioning as well, a big part of this, and something that I should endorse all the way across the board. Covered the opening game football for the season. In fact, I haven't looked at the schedule for the East Longmeadow boys football team, but if you find at some point that they're playing one of the Springfield teams, Putnam, Central, Sci-Tech, Commerce, all 4 of those Springfield public school teams now play on the new field turf that was installed at Fred Birdie Field on the campus of Springfield Central High School. I'm bringing that up because it's a great turf, but I initially brought up conditioning. I wanted to talk about conditioning because I covered the opener for Putnam and Central on September 7th, and a lot of the Putnam boys down, fighting aches, muscle cramps, etc., etc. And just very, very important, even in the off season, that if you're not playing some type of rec soccer, that you just, keep yourself healthy. Keep yourself healthy.
That's it, Sarah. There you go, Rook.
Great field turf, though, I have to tell you, at Central High School. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful.
Good work, girls.
Time being kept on the field, though I can tell you we are in about the 32nd minute now. Oh, nice ball handling here by Cathedral as she works her way through. Seeing a little bit of spark. But then as she didn't get through, she didn't have any help. Now, there's the difference between what you see with East Longmeadow and what you see with Cathedral. You had one Cathedral player realizing that she's working against 5 red shirts, and she has no support. I think the frustration that she showed after she didn't complete that attack was her way of saying, can I get a little help? Little grab, getting away, no call there. And the wine, ooh, that's a field goal. Unlucky over the crossbar. And it looks like substitutions. Okay. '19, we did catch that jersey number. Number 19, Alyssa Highland into the game.
Keep going.
Again, another shot in the neighborhood. Highland just coming into the game and already her first strike. Oh, again, the Cathedral players, they just don't want that ball enough. They'll let it sit there. And just the aggression, everyone at East Longmeadow wants to get involved. Another shot on goal. Mixing it up. Right through the defenders. You know, it's interesting seeing here what the difference is between when you play to the man or when you play to where the man is going. There are times where strategically you want to close down the road ahead if you can't stop the truck. Get a little ahead of it, change it up. Don't see a lot of that out of the Lady Panthers. And the speed. I almost wonder how many of these East Longmeadow girls run track and field in the spring, because there is some speed on the field for the Lady Spartans here today. If you're faster than your opponent and you have better ball handling skills than your opponent, sometimes strategic formations just don't even mean anything.
Good work, Daryl.
One of the parents on the sideline getting props for jumping and blocking the errant soccer ball. Nice lead, onside. Still a live ball. Nice stop tackle on that. Instead of deciding she was going to aggress and try to drive it through, she's like, here, let me stop and pull it back. The defender just walked right on by. Good try. Turnover now. Cathedral with the free kick. East Longmeadow now again throwing it in. Right down the sideline, controlled, centers it, changing the field, coming across from the other side. Nice change of the field from the left side to the right side, and it'll be Cathedral ball. Very nice transition from the far side to the near side of the field on that one. But look at the red shirts, 4-1 on the screen. And a nice touch, one touch, in, out, striker! Oh, unlucky just off the left side of the post. Oh, just outside the bar. But a good attempt on goal. But a miss. Alyssa Highland, along with Danielle White, in on the attack. The shot by White just wide left. 38th minute, nearing the end of the first half. I believe earlier in the game I may have called this a 90-minute contest. I believe that they play 40 by 40. Nice touch. Still plenty of time here. East Longmeadow continuing to aggress on the ball. Cathedral looking to seal the wound. That's how you know when you're under pressure, when the best thing you can do defensively is kick the ball out of bounds, but offering your opponent a corner kick opportunity. Decides to keep it on the ground. Dancing 2 against 1, and there's the lift in, but far across to the other side. Uh-oh. Woo, dangerous, dangerous play. Netminder in the mix. Almost took a high kick. East Longmeadow still putting on the pressure. Sends it. And we're going the other way. Called for the push. That might be the, I don't know, fourth whistle I've heard in the game.
1 minute.
Final minute, first half. Oh, and look at that shot right there. Cathedral gets on the board in the 39th minute of the game. They were down, they're not out. We said they had to seal the wound, and that'll serve as a Band-Aid for now. 3-1, your score in the final minute. And it looks like the Lady Spartans want to get that goal back in a hurry as they push across center. The shot, kind of shanked it, still alive. Here's another shot with the left foot, deflected off the goalie out of bounds. I think that was Danielle White with the shot on goal. Not for sure. And that looks like Alyssa Highland sending in the corner kick. Touched on, popped up. Still time. Into the mix, off the left wing. All right. That shot actually may at least qualify as the attempt. Goes off the left side of the post, or stays far left of the pole. Goes out of bounds. First half. So again, at least the Cathedral Panthers, a little bit of redemption, getting that goal in the 40th minute to make it a 3-1 contest at the end of 40 minutes complete.